been quite proactive.
So as a student of law, I'd like to understand what the Competition Commission eventually does. Say there's a violation of the one of the provisions of the Competition Act, or one of the four incidents that you discussed in the beginning occur.
Yeah.
So in that case, what does the competition do? They pass an order, and if there is an aggrieved party, let's say there is a business entity that's aggrieved by the order of the Competition Commission, what follows?
Right. Okay. So generally, so the Competition Commission also has a power to conduct inquiries, right? So where it may suspect that there might be some kind of, by looking at market conditions, for instance, in the cement sector, it might suspect that there is some kind of anti-competitive practice going on at a large level. It would then issue a notice, a show cause notice. So generally speaking, there is a show cause notice, there is a hearing, and obviously the hearing has to comply with the rules of the principles of natural justice and due
Naturally.
process. It cannot pass an order without like giving a fair and proper hearing to the parties that are concerned. So, and if after conducting that entire hearing it concludes that there has been a violation of any one or more provisions of the Competition Act by any undertakings, then it will issue an order to that effect
Okay.
and impose. And so now, when it comes to issuing an order, there is a range of actions that the CCP can take. One is they
Okay.
can impose a penalty. They can impose a penalty of extra fees, and the regulation, the various provisions of the Competition Act as well as the regulations, they provide for different maximum penalties for different sorts of violations. So for abuse of dominant position, certain amount depending on the turnover, for instance, of the
Mhm.
companies that are involved. And there will be different penalties for different violations. What it can also do, in addition to or as an alternate to imposing penalties, is it can require the offending undertakings to restore the market conditions that existed prior to their collusive behavior or prior to their anti-competitive behavior. So it can, for
Okay.
instance, for instance, if there is a merger that's resulted in, lessening of competition, it can order us, the splitting up of that entity. If there
I
is,
see.
yeah, if there is an usually though, that's something that has to happen when at the prior to the CCP even granting pre-merger clearance. But it subsequently, if it finds that if a particular merger was given approval but it had the effect of doing so, it can do that. So these are just some examples
Okay.
of the actions that the CCP can take. There are certain types of actions that constitute criminal offenses as well under the Competition Act,
I see.
and in those cases, then the Competition Commission can institute criminal proceedings against the offending entity in a court of competent jurisdiction. So these are the different types of actions undertaken. Now, as far as remedies against the CCP's orders are concerned, the first appeal lies, but this is only now. So there are two kinds of orders that can be passed. There are certain types of orders that the Commission as an entity has to pass, is empowered to pass. And then there are certain types of actions, limited, much more limited. There's certain types of orders which one member or one or more members of the Competition Commission can pass. So as far as orders of the members are concerned, there is a right of appeal before the CCP's appellate bench. But that appellate bench is a part of the CCP itself. It doesn't exist independently. As far as orders of the CCP itself are concerned, so for instance, where the CCP finds that a telecom company has engaged in abuse of dominant position and passes a detailed order, then against that order, an appeal would lie to the Competition Appellate Tribunal. Now, the tribunal is it's an independent tribunal constituted under Section 43 of the Competition Act,
Which
and
is independent of the commission.
which is independent of which is supposed to be independent of the
Okay.
CCP, and it's supposed to have a chairperson and who is the judicial member, and then two technical members who have the requisite qualifications in the relevant area, whether it's industrial knowledge or economic expertise. The various different types of requirements and qualifications have been specified. So the Competition Appellate Tribunal is the forum for challenging orders of the CCP. And any order of the CAT, which is a Competition Appellate Tribunal, can then be challenged before the Supreme Court of Pakistan, which is the final
Okay.
appellate authority under the
And there
Competition.
is the high courts do not have jurisdiction.
The high courts do not have jurisdiction, not under the CCP Act.